Welcome back to the channel, Below the Knee Prosthetics Tips and Insight. This video right here will be tips on getting a leg made. It could be your first leg or others. And the leg comprises of the socket, the pylon, and the prosthetic foot. So the first thing I would say about getting a leg is the kind of foot that the insurance company gives you is based on a K level that you're given. And the K level, it goes from K level 0 to K level 4. What I'll do is I'll put a chart up on the screen with the K levels for this section that will describe them. So K level 0 is basically just a stiff foot. It's not a lot of movement. There's no motion in the ankle. It might not even be carbon fiber. There's not going to be no shocks. Up and down gives a little shock. It's not going to be no torsion where it gives a little twist, and it might not be flexible as far as when you're on uneven surfaces. Some of the leg, some of the prosthetics foot, like if this is the foot and you're on an even surface, it kind of, will the foot will kind of twist to the surface, and also frontwards and backwards. Torsion is a little twist, and then it has the shock absorber. And then some of the foot are made of carbon fiber, so they flex a little bit and give you some kind of push-off motion when you're going from heel to toe. So that's the K level, and something will be on the screen to show the different K levels. So the first step to getting your leg made is the first thing they will do is they will call you into the office or you make an appointment, and they will make a cast over your residual limb. So they will then send that cast out to a company that will make you a liner. What a liner is, it's like a soft rubbery material, not too soft, rubber material that goes over your residual limb, and it provides protection and comfort. So, like if your residual limbs have a lot of bony areas with not a lot of meat around it, they would make that area thicker in the liner, so you can actually walk with your prosthetic leg without having pain. But then the drawback is if they put too much layers of the rubber in, then it's harder to bend at your knees. And so after you receive that liner back, then the next step they will do is they will call you in to make a cast for your socket. So what they'll do is they'll put the liner on, and they'll make a cast of that, and that will actually be how they pour the thing in there, and then they create the mold for your socket. Well, for your test socket, they make you a test socket first to test it. So once the test socket is made, then they'll call you back into the office again. And the normal procedure that I've seen is they'll call you into the office and they'll do like a 15 minutes, half an hour test period. But I mean, it takes time for them to set it up, time for them to set up the leg to the right length, set up the angles of the pylon, the foot, and kind of calibrate it to match your body. And after that, then they might give you 10, 15, 20 minutes of time walking around the office to see how it feels and how you like it and the comfort. The test socket, I would say, is the most important part of this whole, is the most important part of it. Because from your test socket, that's what they're going to make your permanent socket from. So this is where if there's any problems, you need to let them know. Don't be shy. Like I was in their office, I know I was a pain in the butt to them, but not not that I like to be a pain in the butt or I want to be a pain in the butt to somebody, but I understood that how that socket was very important. It determined if I would be walking around in pain every day. And some people I talked to said their socket hurt them so much that they didn't even walk around in their prosthetic. Some people just rather walk around with the crutches because it hurt so bad. So I said to myself, I'm not going to be in that situation. These things cost thousands of dollars. So if I'm getting a leg made, you best believe it's at least should be wearable, right? Without pain. And I'm a person. I'm very active. You know, I go to work. I want to walk a mile or two a day, ride my motorcycle, whatever I want to do. I want to be able to do it. You know, within reason that I could do. So the things I would say to look out for when you're making your test socket is, first thing I would say is request from your prosthetics people. Let them know that, hey, would you be able to toughen up this test socket so I could take it home for like a day or even a week to test it out? Because that would be a better test, right? If you could test it out for a full day, then you could wear it for like 2, 3 hours and see. Because sometimes you have problems that you really won't be able to tell until you've had it on for a while. Also, you'll be able to test it in different environments. So, like if you're jogging, you could take it for a little jog, you know, and see how it feels. You driving, you could take it driving and see, because a lot of people don't understand. I know some people don't drive, but if you do, and that's the actual prosthetic you use, like mine is on the right leg. So when I drive, the first prosthetic leg I got made, after I drove for like about an hour, it had like a little pressure point because I guess your leg, when you're driving, like you're holding your knee up, so the socket is kind of on it, so it kind of hangs on it, so it might hang and twist it, and there's like a little spot that, like for me, it would just get numb and hurt, and after a while, I would just have to stop and take a little break. But yeah, testing in all these situations would give you knowledge for that. But yeah, definitely take it home and try to test it. You know, request that. Like they might not tell you off the bat, like, hey, yeah, we're gonna make your test socket and you could take it home. They might just want you to come in for like an hour visit or 2 hour visit and do it. But if you could request to take it home, you know, because it's just that important. What good would it be for you to get a leg made, right? Spend all this money on the leg, and then you don't want to use it because it just hurts so much, or you're in pain all day, you're at work and it's just paining you. Like, you know, to me, that's not good. So I say fix the problems up front so you don't have to deal with them later on. Because after you get the final socket, they could make little miniature adjustments, but it's not the same major adjustments you can make when you're on the test socket. So after you've done all of that, you've tested it, then the next thing they're gonna do is, then after you signed off and everything is good, you like it, they're gonna make a test socket. I mean, sorry, they're gonna make the permanent socket. But first, let me go back and say the things you want out of your socket, the things you should look for. You want to try to get it as light as possible, because the lighter it is, the less stress it is on your foot, especially like when driving or any kind of movement where you got to lift up your leg. Because I don't know if you know about the what is this? I think it's called the fulcrum law or something like that. But it's like somebody might think, oh, 1 pound difference in the leg might not be that big of a difference, or in the foot itself. But because let's say like this is your knee and you go like this to bend it up, because the weight is here, 1 pound is way more than if a pound was over here. So the actual leg you pick is important. I try to stick to the legs that weigh less but has all the functionality. The other things I would say is I've always had vacuum, and I love the vacuum. It feels great, but the one drawback of vacuum is, I mean, I've only had Autobach legs. I had an Autobach Triton, and now I have an Autobach Talio. But the pumps, don't last long. And what I say is long might be long for some people, but I mean, the longest I think a pump lasts is like 5, maybe 6, 7 months. And then after that, well, let me take that back. Maybe it's not the pump, but the whole vacuum system. Something is always going wrong. Whether it's dirt got stuck in the line, or something became disconnected, or the pump goes bad. And that wasn't so bad in the Triton. I mean, in the Triton, because you could just replace the pump. But in the new Talio, you have to get a whole new foot. So that wasn't good. So I think what I've decided from here on out is I don't think I might get the vacuum, or I might not, because I just like the foot where I don't have to keep going to these people every 3 months. Like, it gets annoying. I just want something I could use and that's ready. I guess I kind of look for the worst case scenario and I try to prep it. So I'm the kind of person like, okay, what happened if there was a world war tomorrow and there was some nuclear and the infrastructure was shut down and there wasn't no doctor? Would my leg not be functional because I had a vacuum system, or I had a battery powered system? So I kind of look at stuff like that. And then, speaking of the battery system, that's the other one. I don't really like those things because the weight of the battery and the components and mechanics they have to put in there, they're heavy. So some people say, yeah, you wear them, and because it's battery powered, you don't feel the weight. But I'd rather not deal with all of that stuff. Plus, there's the cost. So, just some insights. So, after you okayed the test socket, they make the final socket. After you sign for that, it's yours. But keep in mind, there is a warranty on the the final socket. I think it's a 3 month period. Anything wrong, they have to fix it, no charge. And there's also, from Autobahn, there's always like about a 3 year warranty on the prosthetic foot, depending what foot you fit. But keep in mind, even though it's the final socket, if you're very unhappy with that foot and it's just causing you a lot of trouble, and they've tried fixing it and they can't fix it, you can request them to make you another test socket and another final socket. And you could ask them to make another test, and from that, they'll have to make another test socket, or they could take the old test socket they have and then try to fix the issues with that and then make you a new socket. They don't like to do that because waste waste time for them and money, but you as a consumer, you have that right. So I just want to point that out because I don't know if a lot of people know that. But I went through all of this because I was a tough customer, but it wasn't like I like to be a pain. But if I'm paying money, and when I got a whole leg made, I had to pay 2,300 out of my pocket, and I think the insurance company paid like another 8, 9 thousand or something like that. I don't have the exact figures. So for that kind of money, I should, as a consumer, get a product that I like and I'm comfortable with, that works, that doesn't hurt. So, they looked at me like that, but I had to be like, you don't want nobody to punk you and give you something that's not up to standard and you're spending all this money. So don't be shy and speak. And if you don't like something, let them know. And if it's any specific specs or something that you want within the leg that you need for your daily activity, tell them. And but that basically concludes this video. I'm probably missed some stuff. I tried to write it down so I could hit everything, but I think I missed any of the major components. Any questions you guys have, please ask. Please share the video. And also, I'm not by any means saying I'm the guru and I'm the know-it-all. All I'm doing is sharing my experience. So if anyone out there have different experiences or different tips, um, please comment on the video and share. And also, if there's any other videos that you guys would like me to do, let me know. But I do have some videos in the works that I plan on doing. Stuff with walking in grass and uphills, downhills, and stuff. But I haven't found the area yet, and I'm trying to buy some camera stuff, mounts and stuff, so I can mount it and actually show you. But Thanks for watching the video. Hope it's helpful to some people, and if you know anybody that could be of use, to share it with them. Okay, thanks.